Watching you go stride for stride with DJ Dallas yesterday down the sideline. In all honesty, are you faster now than you were a couple years ago when you're here?
I don't know. I feel healthy. I think the last couple seasons, I finished the season with the injury, so I spent the majority of the time like trying to rehab that injury. But last year, we didn't play that long, so I got a chance to kind of regroup, reset my diet, reset my things I normally do in the off season, and just trying to be the best version of myself so I can help this team. We felt good. Like the energy was there. Obviously, that's a big part of the defense that we want to improve on. So we think it's a first step to coming out first day in practice, setting a tone like that, and then we just got to build on it. It's a lot of guys learning how to fit, a lot of guys learning how to use their pads and things of that nature, and just knock that rust off. But it was a good, strong day.
Bobby, guys keep saying on defense, run fit, stay up for business all the time. What does that look like? Meeting what is the emphasis?
I think it's just understanding your run fits. I think what it means by that is the team is not going to just line up and let's say you have an A or B gap. They're not going to just line up and come right at you. They're going to move a guy. They're going to motion a guy. And all those motions changes your gap. And so you have to know what your gap is after that. And I think just having an understanding, because sometimes they'll motion to put the nickel into the fit. Now the nickel has a run gap, or they'll move the tight end and make the outside guy have to fold back in. So there's different ways that they can, the offense does to mess with your run fit. So just being mindful of that, being able to communicate that with everybody, and just being on the same page, I think that's the biggest emphasis.
It seemed like that was a particularly physical first practice. And stuff that you guys did. Do you feel that way, that it was maybe as physical as you've been in early camp practice with this team in a while?
To an extent, I mean, the D-line did such a good job. The ball never really made it up to us, to be honest. They were attacking the ball in the backfield, so which I'm okay with. So they were in the backfield every play, and they really set the tone for us today. And so, that's something that we're going to look for, all season.
You played with Jared, obviously, this year before. How do you kind of see him now? And
he's always been good just being in the backfield and watching him on, other teams. He's done a really good job, and so he's just bringing that same thing. I think he's more mature. Obviously knows he's always been a smart player, and so now he has more intellect, more experience under his belt. So he's kind of passing that knowledge down to a lot of the guys around him. So, we feel really good about having him there. I mean, I was a big dude, man. So whether he's getting penetration or standing there, nobody's really moving him. The difference with them is they're able to move. They're a little bit more shiftier. So on some of those angle blocks, it's a little bit harder to get to them because they're so quick and they're able to get outside. So with that quickness, we need to just be able to, as linebackers, be able to read off of that and make sure we find the ball. Man, I think every year you come into the game and you want to be better than what you were last year. And I see Diggs is still childish. Your kid's right there too. Setting a bad example, throwing ice at adults. You know what I mean? But no, there's still areas in my game I want to improve. There's still plays I want to make. Obviously, winning is the ultimate goal, and that hasn't happened for me the last few years. So wanting to put more than, I think last year we had 5 wins, and the year before that it wasn't double digits. So wanting to win, wanting to play at a high level and remind everybody who's the best.
How do I understand maybe it's a little overlooked your longevity and consistency, especially the physical nature of your position. What do you attribute that to? You've been able to do it for so long.
I'm just really consistent when it comes to taking care of my body. I've been blessed to have and work with a lot of great people outside of the building that's been able to help me maintain my body the way that it is. And honestly, it's just being committed to greatness. Watching guys like Ray Lewis, Ken Norton, those guys has been around for a long time, and just stealing things that they've done to allow themselves to play for a long time. I'm just doing the same thing. He's been great. I mean, obviously he's learning new defense, and I think he needed this new environment, fresh environment, and he's been making plays. Yesterday he had a nice little pick that he took back. So I think he's getting more and more comfortable with the scheme, and I'll be excited to see him out there on the field and making plays.
What's impressed you about Dino, either playing against him last year or being in this camp with him now as an unquestioned starter?
I think the maturity, the growth, obviously the confidence, because obviously when you kind of take over, a guy like Russ, there's a lot of expectations, a lot of things that they're expecting of you. But he came in and he was himself, and he performed at a very high level. And, I've watched that from afar. He never really got the opportunity because Russ was here. And so I knew if he got an opportunity, he probably would seize the moment, and that's what he did. And it's just fun to see. It's fun to see the work, him being in there early in the morning, working out and things like that. It's just cool to see the way he's interacting, the way he has command of the huddle. It's fun to see, and you can see it's even better this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like this year.
What's the first thing you did when you signed?
Say it one more time. I had another just immature person.
Is there anything new for you to learn about this defense?
More of the terminology. I was fortunate enough to, I was here for a long time, same system, but then when I went to the Rams, they kind of ran a similar system to this. And so I feel like we're kind of combining what we used to do with some of the new stuff. And so a lot of it is just terminology. A lot of it is just, just getting back in the playbook like you're a rookie and making sure you know all the intricacies. Because, like I said, they're not going to just line up and come at you. They're going to motion. They're going to do different things. And, as a Mike linebacker, being able to check.
You've been back in this uniform for a few months now, but to get the reception that you had the last few days from the fans, what has been your reaction to that? And was it everything you expected?
It's been amazing, man. The fans have been amazing. The first time I came back was just something that was really special. The way that they welcomed me, obviously coming back was just as cool, and being able to connect with the community, being able to connect with everybody, because like 2 years ago, I got hurt on the last play, so I thought my last time in the Seahawks jersey was going to be that play, and I'm blessed and happy it's not that. He's really smart. He's super tough too. Like, having a guy like that that's able to make plays and get picks and things of that nature, but come down and really tag off the running back or whoever he needs to be in the run game is just special. It's not too many guys like that. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. He's one of the best, if not the best, safeties in the league, and he's done an amazing job. He's super, super smart. It's really cool to be able to bounce ideas off of him during the game or just during practice, and I'm glad to be able to play with him again.
Did you like playing the softball game?
Yeah, it was cool. And then one of the balls came down. I saw somebody slip, and I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to. This is not my game. So she did the splits. I can't afford to do the splits. I don't even think my body moved like that. So.
Why is it important to you to always get here early?
Please state your name and where you're from. I thought you was a realtor. I didn't think you was a.
See that Zillow? I did that. Tyler Lockett, Seattle Seahawks wide receiver and special teams returner. Why is it important for you to get here early the way that you do? Ever since I've been here, you've always been here. First one out, first one in.
That's a great question. I'll give you kudos. But it's more of a mindset thing. It's like it's a habit where you don't want to let people outwork you, and so that's kind of where it started. I didn't want anybody to beat me to the facility, and then after that, just you create a routine and you get used to things, and you get here early. Kind of like what Kobe said. Like the earlier you get here, the more time you have to, do all the things you need to do and provide that balance. I'm able to be with my family because of how early I wake up. So that's a little bit of it. I see you there, right?
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
The first one or the second one? The first one probably like 5:30. Second one probably 5:42. I think it's the checks. I think, when he comes out, when he reads the coverage, whether it's cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, the confidence to check it to the play he needs to check it to. And then the way that everybody listens. Nobody's second questions his check. Nobody's second questions what he's checking into. They trust him. He has complete command of the huddle, and I think that's the confidence. Obviously, one play, because I didn't watch too many Seattle games last year, to be honest. But one game that I did watch, I don't know who they're playing. It might have been LA Chargers, but there was a play. Something happened before the play, and you saw Pete come up to Geno, say something to Geno, and then he throw a touchdown the next play. Like, just having like that's like confidence in yourself, like being able to let that play go and throw a strike the next play is, that was fun. Huh? No, I think it was to Goodwin. Goodwin, yeah.
Having played for a big thing last year, you tell that Waldron came up.
Say one time.
Having played for Sean McVay last year, you could tell that Shane Waldron was like spent 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously some differences because, the quarterback situation was a little bit different. Like when Shane first got here, he was dealing with Russ, and Russ liked to move around a little bit more versus the quarterbacks that he was working with didn't really move that much. But they still do the same play action, the same sweeps, the same, try to expose the same things. And so you could definitely tell there's certain things. But that offense it has a wide range of weapons, but it's centered around your weapons. And so, DK is different than Cooper Kupp. And so the way they try to get him open versus Tyler Lockett versus all the different weapons are different. And here there's a much more emphasis in running the ball and making sure that's part of the game. And so that was, to me, the biggest difference. But you could definitely tell there was some similarities there. I really like the way he cuts back, sees everything. You could definitely tell when somebody overplays or when he sees a gap, he hits it quick. And so he's a guy that's been standing out and getting better and better every practice, and it's gonna be fun seeing everybody in preseason and stuff like that.
What are your thoughts on the running back situation?
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. At the same time, it's not too far out. It's kind of interesting. It's when you have like CBAs or contract negotiations, everybody tries to find a loophole. And so, I feel like the loophole with the running backs has been if they're really good, draft them in the first round, like use them as much as you can, and then don't pay them. And if they're still good, then you franchise them until you feel like they losing steam, and you get rid of them. I think it's unfortunate how we devalue that position because clearly we value running the ball. And, a lot of teams, I know they go to the passing, but, if they don't have a run game, then nobody believes the pass or play action or things of that nature. So I think it's still a valued position. It's unfortunate how the chairman, spoke about his own, running back. And, I think as players, you just want to be appreciated. You want to be valued. And it's unfortunate that they're not getting that. And hopefully we and they can figure it out. That's a big word. Sheesh. Maturation. Sheesh.
Yeah, that could be another word because the way Clint Hurst
What was I saying? Obviously it's kind of the same thing as confidence. When you come in, he's the defensive line coach, and you start noticing how he has command of those guys, and all those guys. He got so many different personalities. So when you're able to connect with each one of them, obviously, you have an ability to connect with people, which I think is big when you're up in those higher ranks, defensive coordinators, head coaches. Scheme is good, but being able to connect with people is I think the thing that separates anybody, and he's able to do that. I think that's been the biggest thing, is being able to connect with not just his group, but everybody around, and I think obviously there's more confidence in the cause, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to help him out a little bit too. You have to be able to connect, because you have to be able to communicate. When things are going good and things are going bad, you have to be able to communicate and make sure you're on the same page, especially for me. I'm an extension of him to an extent. When Sundays come around, I need to be able to relay his message, relay the game plan that we have that week, and us being on the same page is it's a big deal.
How much
How much you kind of working with Jordan right now? So obviously they're on the field, but you guys I imagine talking a lot behind the scenes.
Yeah, we definitely communicated. But I think his biggest thing, obviously, is his health and being healthy and making sure he's good. Obviously, we talk the game of football, but there's always waves of life, and I think right now is him just focusing on making sure he feels is comfortable and great when he steps out on the field. And again, I don't hoard knowledge, so whatever he wants, I got it. Appreciate it, guys.